Sometimes nothing is wrong, yet you still feel lost. That feeling can be confusing because there is no clear crisis to blame, no dramatic collapse to point at, no obvious disaster demanding repair. Life may look stable from the outside. You may be functioning, working, talking, showing up, paying bills, answering messages, doing what needs to be done. And yet beneath all of it, there is a quiet emptiness, a strange disorientation, a sense that something is missing, even when you cannot name what it is. Many people assume feeling lost must mean failure. They think it means they made the wrong choices, wasted time, fell behind, or missed some secret roadmap everyone else received. But often feeling lost does not mean life is broken. It means the old way of living no longer fits, and the new way has not fully formed yet. That in-between space can feel uncomfortable. Human beings often prefer clear pain over unclear transition. If something is obviously wrong, at least the problem has shape. You know what to fix. You know what to fight. You know where to direct energy. But when nothing is clearly wrong, and you still feel unsettled, the mind becomes frustrated. It asks questions with no easy answers. Why do I feel empty? Why am I not excited? Why does everything feel flat? Why do I feel disconnected? Why am I unhappy when things are fine? Because the mind wants certainty, it may start creating false explanations. It blames your job, your city, your age, your relationship, your routine, your personality, your lack of discipline, your past decisions. Sometimes those factors matter, but many times the deeper truth is more subtle. You may not be lost, you may be evolving. Growth is often romanticized as clarity, confidence, and upward momentum. In reality, growth frequently feels like confusion. It can feel like boredom with what once satisfied you. It can feel like distance from identities that once defined you. It can feel like questioning goals you spent years chasing. It can feel like grieving versions of yourself that no longer fit. This creates emotional disorientation. The habits that once motivated you stop working. The people you once related to feel different. The dreams you once pursued lose emotional charge. The distractions that once numbed you feel hollow. You look around and think something is wrong. Sometimes nothing is wrong. Sometimes your inner life is asking for a deeper chapter. There is also exhaustion disguised as being lost. Many people spend years in performance mode. They push through fatigue, stay useful, remain available, chase milestones, carry responsibilities, suppress emotions, and keep moving because stopping feels dangerous. Eventually, the nervous system grows tired. But instead of recognizing depletion, they interpret the resulting numbness as identity confusion. They say I do not know who I am. Sometimes what they mean is I have not rested enough to feel myself. Burnout can mimic existential crisis. When the system is overworked, joy becomes muted. Curiosity shrinks. Decisions feel heavy. Everything seems meaningless. You may assume your life path is wrong when the real issue is chronic depletion. Another hidden cause of feeling lost is living by inherited expectations. Many people build lives around what they were taught to value, rather than what genuinely matters to them. Stability, image, approval, status, constant productivity, pleasing family, avoiding judgment, appearing successful. These goals can create external structure while starving internal truth. Then one day, the person achieves pieces of the script and still feels empty. not because they are ungrateful, because achievement cannot replace alignment. If your life is built around what impresses others, but ignores what nourishes you, lostness eventually appears as a signal. It says this shape is not enough. There is also the grief of becoming conscious. At first, unconscious living can feel simpler. You follow routines. You chase what others chase. You repeat inherited patterns. You distract yourself easily. But once awareness grows, old illusions stop working. You begin noticing how often people perform instead of connect. You notice how much anxiety drives ambition. You notice how many goals were borrowed. You notice how often busyness hides emptiness. You notice your own patterns more clearly. Awareness can be liberating, but in the early stages it often feels lonely and disorienting. You cannot return to old ignorance, but you have not yet built a wiser life. That space can feel like being lost, but it may actually be awakening. The mind often responds badly to seasons with no clear map. It wants immediate purpose, immediate passion, immediate certainty. Yet many meaningful transitions are quiet first. Seeds do not look dramatic underground. Foundations are invisible while being laid. Not every important season feels exciting. Some seasons are for simplifying. Some are for healing. Some are for grieving. Some are for learning patience. Some are for becoming honest. Some are for gathering energy before motion returns. The modern world does not celebrate these seasons well. It rewards visible momentum. So if your growth is internal and invisible, you may judge yourself harshly. Do not confuse invisibility with stagnation. So what helps when you feel lost and nothing seems wrong? First, stop demanding instant answers. You do not need a 5-year plan tonight. You may simply need a truthful next step. Clarity often arrives through movement, not endless analysis. Second, check exhaustion before identity. Ask yourself whether you need a new life or a rested nervous system. Sleep, space, reduced stimulation, sunlight, walking, nutrition, quiet, and emotional release can restore perspective more than dramatic decisions made in depletion. Third, notice what feels dead. Not with panic, but curiosity. Which routines drain you? Which environments flatten you? Which conversations feel performative? Which habits numb more than nourish? What once mattered, but no longer does. Loss of energy contains information. Fourth, notice what still feels alive, even faintly. A topic that interests you, a place that calms you, a skill you want to grow, a style of living that feels true, a kind of person you become around certain people. Aliveness whispers before it shouts. Fifth, reduce comparison. Feeling lost intensifies when you compare your inner uncertainty to other people's edited certainty. Many who look sure are performing confidence while privately confused. Human life is less linear than social media suggests. Sixth, allow identity to loosen. You do not need to be the same person forever. You are allowed to outgrow roles, preferences, goals, friendships, ambitions, and versions of success. Some people feel lost only because they are trying to remain someone they no longer are. That struggle is exhausting. Seventh, make small honest moves. Call the person you avoid because they matter. Apply for the thing that scares you. End the habit that deadens you. Take the class. Spend less time where you shrink. Say no where you always betray yourself. Meaning often returns when integrity returns. And finally, understand this deeply. Feeling lost is not always a sign that life is failing. Sometimes it is the sign that false certainty is dissolving. Sometimes it means the old mask is cracking. Sometimes it means the path built for survival is no longer enough for growth. Sometimes it means your inner life wants more truth than your outer life currently holds. That discomfort is not punishment. It is invitation. You may not need to blow everything up. You may not need dramatic reinvention. You may not need to panic because motivation is low for one season. You may simply be standing at the edge of a more honest life, without language for it yet. Be patient in that space. Not passive, but patient. Listen more closely than you force. Simplify more than you impress. Recover more than you perform. Choose small truth over grand image. Because many people who feel lost are not broken or behind. They are between identities, between seasons, between stories. And if you stay present long enough, what feels like emptiness now may reveal itself as the space where your real life finally begins.